Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined this week by EZ.
Hey yo.
Hey, yo, and got a lot to talk about this week. AEW had Revolution, they had Dynamite, WWE is on the road to WrestleMania, and there was a contest with some winners that want to find out what they won. So, never seen this show before. This is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I'm Ed Easy at All In Starcast. We love wrestling. We love talking wrestling. We love sharing our love of pro wrestling with each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we are just fans. Our opinions that have any other fans. We avoid insider terms. At the end of the day, we are not insiders. We are not wrestlers. We are just a bunch of marks. And we're going to start off with what everybody wants to know about, and that is the contest. We had a tie for first, and then one person getting second. A lot of people, or one person getting third, so yeah, a lot of people really lost points. I don't think a single person that entered picked the House of Black winning the Trios Championship, so that was 2 points that everybody missed out on. So, but in a tie with 11, we have Bob and Mo. I can see that on there. Yeah, there it goes. So we will put them into the prize-winning Ricky Rudd hat.
Probably more enjoyable than the Phoenix race today.
I haven't watched it.
I heard from my friends that it was boring, despite trying out a new package.
The winner is Mo. Congratulations, Mo. So, Bob, you get second, and then the third place was Joseph. So, we will draw. Thank you, everybody, for entering. Let's draw Joseph's comic book right now. And Joseph wins Batman and the Max, issue number 1. So, that's cool.
And what was Batman and the Max?
The Max was a TV series. 90s Image comic, and it became an MTV TV series. It's kind of and it's kind of like Batman meeting with the Max. It's interesting. Check out the Max show, and then you'll see how it can fit in with Batman. Let's see, and for Bob, he wins a Campese number 3, another independent comic book, so cool for him. And he gets a figure of Ain't it great? He gets a Jeff Jarrett action figure.
Welcome to my world.
Wee woo. And Mo, the contest winner, will get a Buff Bagwell action figure.
Ooh.
His comic book will be a Daredevil Annual 1 by Chip Zdarsky. So, that's cool. Set that stuff up there. His DVD is well, you might see a familiar face on this DVD because this is Ring of Honor Gateway to Gold from June 4th, 2017. I was at this show. I was at this Ring of Honor show. And as such matches like Frankie Kazarian versus Flip Gordon, Bobby Fish versus Jay Lethal, the Young Bucks versus the Kingdom, Motor City Machine Guns versus Cody and Hangman Page. So, yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This was actually, it was at this show where I actually met Cody Rhodes for the first time. So,
Nice.
Cool. And gets a t-shirt.
Thank Border City Wrestling for getting my wrestling kicks back.
What's that?
Again, thank Border City Wrestling on my end for getting my wrestling kicks back.
And the T-shirt
Hitman
is got
Oh, no, man, that was Scott
a
Steiner.
Stone Cold Steve Austin King of Attitude T-shirt.
Ooh.
So that's cool. That's a good shirt. And the bonus prize will be a Cactus Jack autographed picture. Yeah, not a bad haul for Mo there. Not a bad haul for Mo at all. And, oh, there's one over there. I'm going to slide off screen to make sure. Hopefully this fits in this slider.
Well,
You
that's
got-
not a great joke. You won yourself a Flamin' Mo.
Flamin' Mo.
A drink that's totally original.
Yeah, well, you know, it needs the cough syrup. So yeah, congratulations to all of our winners. Thank you all for playing. The next time we will be doing one of these will be for WrestleMania. So stay tuned to the channel.
Literally weeks away.
Weeks away. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel. All right. So pay-per-view. What'd you think about it?
Sorry, just catching my breath. Revolution was not bad.
It's good. It's a really good show. It wasn't
I
it
would
wasn't
say,
as
like, above
perfect as a lot of
average.
people say it was, in my opinion, but I still think it was a really damn good show.
I think it's just the
Yeah.
build-up was insanely lackluster, to say
Yeah.
the least.
And I think that, and you know, and I know where, you know, so many talking heads like to go like, well, the show was so great, didn't you know, like it made up for it. Like, no, it didn't. Like, if it would have had better build up, that show would have been like, it could have been show of the year. The matches were great, but they just needed to build up on more. And then we could be talking about one of the greatest shows ever. You know, if the Jaguars get a big win, but still allowed 3 sacks and threw 2 interceptions, you know, even if they did throw 5 touchdown passes, there's still something needs to be improved on there. And that's kind of how I see AEW Revolution. It was a big win.
Yeah, that's how they beat the Chargers.
Oh yeah, you know, but there's still stuff they need to improve on, and you know that's stuff they need to improve on next year. That's how I'm seeing this pay-per-view. This is a pay-per-view where, you know, everybody brought it, but if you could clean up these few things, there's no stopping you. But right now, until you clean up those few things, whether or not we feel like they did in the with TV this week, we'll discuss that later. But you know, you got the talent there that can put on the matches. They just need the writing and they need the storylines to back it up. And don't at me saying that when you're this good, you don't need the storylines. Bullshit. You need the storylines. You needed them, had them, and bragged about them from 2019 to 2021. So get back after it. Won't go through every match individually. Obviously, MJF Bryan Danielson was my favorite match the whole night. Maybe one of it's probably not my favorite match ever, but it's probably top 10 favorite matches of all time, and I mean that that was amazing.
I put mine on like my top 5 because I just thought, you know, I'm not really like the biggest like stickler for Iron Man matches, but that was kind of nail biting to say the least. But for the love of God, don't scare us again with another draw.
Actually, if it would have been a draw, I would have been okay with it, actually. I would have been okay. If they were to, like, build this up to, like, a no time limit or something, the draw could have been used very well. I mean, Omega and Okada had a draw at Dominion 2017, and it was considered one of the best matches of all time. That's another one in my top 10.
Although having said that, probably would have been a good setup to maybe have these two have another rematch at Double or Nothing, or maybe a televised match in between.
Well,
who knows?
the fact that they went with the sudden death, there's no need for it. But if they're going to go for a draw, if they would have went with the draw, there were options available that would have been that would have made it okay. I would not have been angry in the slightest had they gone with a draw, as long as they kept the story going. Now they kind of said like, all right, well, that's it. Okay, then I would have had some problems.
Yeah. Although, well, that is definitely was probably like match of the night. Honestly, my favorite matchup was the Trios Championship because I did not see that coming. Like, I think all of us on the prediction were saying, it's going to be like Young Bucks, House Bucks, and just once again buried. It's like, everyone was like, wait, what just happened?
I mean, it was good. I like the stuff with Omega and, all the members of the House of Black. Didn't care much for the Young Bucks stuff, but I'll say I'm biased and I'm not a big fan of that style of wrestling. So, but like it was good. I'm not gonna say it was a bad match, but it couldn't. It's not even on the same planet to me as the Iron Man match.
Yeah.
Not even close. Not even close. It's not breathing the same air as that match.
Yeah. And Hangman almost committing murder on pay-per-view television by actually trying to literally hang Moxley.
I really like that the Texas Death Match. But all the pundits that say Jon Moxley bleeding every week took away from how special that could have felt on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They have a legit argument. I'm not trying to feed into some people that are just complain to complain, but they do have there is legit criticism to, well, Mox bleeds every week, so when he was gushing blood, it's like, oh, okay. Neat. I saw that against Evil Uno.
He could have been screwed if it was a first blood match.
I think anytime Jon Moxley, if he's ever in a first blood match, I feel like that's going to be one of the shortest matches of all time. But yeah, overall, really, really good pay-per-view. I liked the final burial match, but I kind of felt like it was unnecessary to go with that stipulation. To me, it just felt like, it just felt like they were going with that stipulation because they're like, oh, Jack Perry's father's passed away, got to do something with it. I mean, yeah. I'd rather them just have been in a cage like the Luchasaurus match and just done something like that. But
and also believe it or not, I'm actually going to acknowledge the Ricky Starks Chris Jericho match.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a great opener. The Jamie Hayter, Saraya, and Ruby Soho was good. Ruby turned. It's a really good match. Villainous Ruby, okay, we'll see how it goes. This storyline could be great, but it's been so up and down. I'm kind of like, I'm to the point now where like it doesn't have the goodwill that maybe it should with me because I'm like, well, let's see what happens. Wardlow Joe was a good Haas fight. Only match I totally hated was the tag team championship match. This match sucked.
Yeah.
This match sucked. This match went on about, it says here it went 13:35. That was about 8-9 minutes too long for my taste. This match was, respect trying to get the tag titles on the pay-per-view, but this to me is the embodiment of how far that division's fallen. All right, so since we're coming off,
at least we got a return of the FTR.
Okay, we'll see what happens. I mean,
it's like, yeah, let's see.
That's neat. Cool. They've dropped the ball so bad with that division. The goodwill is gone. It's not there for me anymore, and that hurts to say, but it used to be, AEW prides itself on having a great tag division, and to me, like when you're randomly pairing up Danhausen and Orange Cassidy rather than just, going with your established teams or using all this talent and just like, oh, we got to get them on. Oh, Jeff Jarrett's in the mix. Yeah, fuck that. Stupid. And I will say again, and
Jeff Jarrett was in this match, and I'm only just saying this like out there, same way people will hate with like, why is Cody Rhodes on TV anymore? What the actual hell is the problem with Jeff Jarrett these days?
Here's my problem with Jeff Jarrett. Here's my problem. Well, first, I'm just not interested in seeing him, and second of all, you have all this talent. You know, here's why I don't like Jeff Jarrett being involved in all these storylines in AEW. Here's why. Because for a company that's fan base is all, we want new talent, we want fresh talent, we want people that can wrestle this style of match. You can't wrestle on this level, get the fuck out of our company, because this is where, you know, the real wrestling is. We don't rely on over-the-hill sports entertainers unless they can still go. Well, I don't think Jeff Jarrett can still go. Okay? You know, this is the same fan base that literally just said Cody Rhodes should sit down, shut up, and take a backstage role if he's unhappy with his spot in AEW. Same fan base. Same fan base that said that. And now we're okay with Jeff Jarrett. WWE was using Jeff Jarrett over some of the other talent. If Jeff Jarrett was being featured on Raw, not Johnny Gargano, you'd be livid. AEW fans be like, and this is why this company is the biggest, the worst excuse for a wrestling company that ever existed. Jeff Jarrett is getting a pass because he's in AEW. Period. He's in AEW, and he made a joke about Triple H on his first night. And I laughed at the joke about Triple H. It's funny. And if he was just managing and wrestling every now and again, you know, I'd be okay with that. But he's prominently featured, and I don't want to see Jeff Jarrett. This is 2023, not 2003. And you know, when you talk a big game of we don't allow this, we don't want this kind of thing to happen. We only want the best of the best of the best. You know, if you're not getting these kind of stuff, if you're not wrestling this fast-paced style, hum digger 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 do. You know, that was the precedent that you said of this is what real wrestling is. This is what real wrestling should look like. And if you can't do that, go to the back. Go to dark. If you're too old, go to retirement. Go backstage and start mentoring the young guys that can still wrestle. Just saying. Nobody would be liking Jeff Jarrett being this heavily featured if it was in a company not with the initials AEW. Or nobody would, or I shouldn't say nobody would like it. Nobody would be giving it any sort of benefit of the doubt. If Jeff Jarrett was getting ready to wrestle Gunther for a championship at WrestleMania, they'd be going, get him the fuck off of here. If he was getting ready to wrestle Austin Theory for the US Championship, they'd be, get him the fuck off of here. I mean,
instead we have a John Cena Austin Theory, but that's another story.
That'd be better than Jeff Jarrett. That's better.
For me, it's like I really don't have anything against him. Like, he's been doing this for a long time, and I do agree with some of your arguments that we got to feature more of the young guys in here. So, well, for me, like, my expectation was, I know he's gonna lose anyway. He's just here, just so for those superstars that are gonna like him up anyway. You know, put them over.
To me, he's taking up time. And Jay Lethal's eaten a lot more pins than Jeff Jarrett has. If it was Jeff Jarrett losing more often, okay. But usually every time I see something happen, it's Lethal taking the pin. Gotta protect old Double J, pal. J-E, haha, double F. Please. Speaking of Jay Lethal, he wrestles Orange Cassidy for the Ocean Spray 7-Eleven Championship.
Which finally has a new name now.
Yeah. I can respect that. I can respect they changed the name. Now I don't laugh every time I see it going, they think Japan's in the Atlantic. I still kind of hope, because they do have two, belts below the World Championship in the men's division. I hope they do something to differentiate the TNT title from the, now it's been announced, the International Championship. I hope that there's, I hope they do something to make it seem like these are two different divisions, or there's two different auras about them, to make it seem like it's not just
Honestly, maybe
two secondary belts for the sake of being secondary belts.
Maybe just rebrand it as just the AEW Television Championship.
Well, I was gonna say, don't call one the Television Championship and one the TNT Championship. Use the TNT Championship the way that the NWA used the Television Championship, and make that a belt that's defended on TV every week or every other week, and then make the International Championship more of like build up, kind of like, again, what they did with the U.S. title in the NWA. Like that, the U.S. title was secondary to the World Championship, and the TNT TV title was just that. It was a title meant to be defended on television, featured on their television shows, and, it gave two distinct identities to, be it, whether it was Luger or Magnum or Tully, or Barry Windham with the U.S. title, or with the TNT title, or TV title, was Arn, or Dusty Rhodes with the television title. Like, there was two distinct differences into how that championship was used, and I'd like to see that with AEW with the TNT and the now international title. Yeah. But still was a good match. Really liked Lethal and OC. Sky Blue versus Ruby Soho. The match was okay. It was what it was. It was what they needed with the new Bad Girl Ruby. Really liked the promo she did. Really thought that was good. Let's try and right the ship now. For the, however many times we've said this about the women's division in AEW, let's right the ship. Let's go. AR Fox and Top Flight versus the JAS. I wasn't into this match at all, and it wasn't because of JAS, or I shouldn't say it wasn't just because of JAS. Because I know a lot of people, when a Jericho match falls flat, they like to make fun of Jericho. To me, just like something just didn't click with all 6 people involved. Just something wasn't there. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was just there. I mean, it's interesting on paper, but it's like the execution was just, It was just filler. At least it just made me more appreciative about what happened next.
Yeah. Silver and Reynolds versus Moxley and Claudio. I really wish that this whole program would be over. Like, I think it's time for everybody involved to move on. They're gonna have the 6-man with the Blackpool Combat Club and the Dark Order next week. I really hope that's the end of it, because I was kind of thinking that after that win that Hangman would be on his way to maybe challenging MJF at Double or Nothing. In order to do that, Hangman's got to get away from Mox. And, yeah.
It's just a rivalry that's just getting so dull.
I'd say it's not been bad. It's just kind of like...
It's going out way too long.
you've got as much as you can out of this tube of toothpaste, and you can squeeze and squeeze and squeeze to maybe get like one or two more brushes out of that little bit left on, that's left in your tube. Or you could just throw it away, buy another tube of toothpaste, and then look, oh hey, look at how much we got left. Look. We could brush for months with this. That's
at least like with Jack Perry and Christian.
There was an injury that delayed it. If they'd have been still carrying this on since August of last year with Christian not being hurt, yeah, it would have got old. But like there was enough injury gap time. It's like, okay, well, if Christian can't wrestle, then we can't put a good conclusion on it. And then when Christian could, they concluded it.
It finally ended just that rivalry. It's like, I don't want anything else to happen. Let Jack Perry get his singles run going on and all that. But yeah, just with Moxley Hangman, it's like, okay, it gets to the point like the rivalry was very fresh. Like, we've now entered into the sequels of Star Wars, like episodes 7 through 9. They're great, and then they just not as memorable as we'd hope it would be.
Yeah.
Although I still think people are giving too much hate to Last Jedi. I'm sorry, I liked it.
Last Jedi was good. No.
I don't know why people hated it, especially when people were pissed off that Luke threw his lightsaber. My whole theater laughed.
Oh no, yeah, Last Jedi I didn't care for. No. Force Awakens was good. Last Jedi.
Skywalker could have had a better ending, but that's just me. So.
It just.
Sorry for anyone who is just getting into Star Wars right now. There are way too. That's honestly just my one problem with the franchise. There's so many stuff that I need to follow from the games, the books, the shows. It's like.
The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is being the elite of Star Wars. If you like that kind of thing, great. To me, by that point in time, it's got its place, but it got old.
I love Mandalorian and all that, but it's like, but if I have to watch
the whole everything's
just to figure out what happened,
funny, and everything's made for a good one-liner and a good ha-ha moment. Okay, I'm kind of over that,
Yeah.
It's got its place, but when you literally come out the gate of the movie with the joke, it's like, here we go. I've waited to see Luke Skywalker, and it's a joke. Okay, neat. Speaking of okay, neat. Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, I have no problem with Powerhouse Hobbs winning TNT title. He's good. He needs a belt. Cool. Did Wardlow have to lose again this soon, though? I mean, seriously, what are you doing with this poor guy?
Yeah, especially when his rental car got broken into.
Seriously. Could we have not have, built this up a little longer? Could we have not given Wardlow a little, just a little bit more time and not just have the kid...
Or hell, this could have been in Winnipeg for a week here.
This is a tale of two different things. On one hand, cool for Powerhouse Hobbs. On the other hand, there are times when somebody loses a belt, but you're like, hey, bigger and better things are on the way. It's okay. They weren't hurt by this loss. Everything's fine.
Tell that to Zack Ryder, who won the IC title at Mania and then loses it to The Miz the next night.
Yeah, this is on that level. Only difference is The Miz didn't need the belt anymore, and, Powerhouse Hobbs did. This to me is more to give examples of when people lost belts, but hey, it's okay, bigger things are coming. When Hangman and Kenny lost the tag belts, we're like, well, all right, time for the singles run of Hangman, okay. When Bret Hart lost the Intercontinental title to Bulldog, it's like, okay, well, we know bigger things are coming for Bret. When Shawn lost the Intercontinental title, we know bigger things are coming for Shawn. When The Rock lost the Intercontinental title, like, okay, hey, loss, we move on. Unless they're gonna do like really do something big with Wardlow, like start an MJF feud, which I don't foresee them going with Wardlow at Double or Nothing. I just don't think, and they're gonna have to work some magic to do Wardlow at Double or Nothing. I see this as just a bad thing for Wardlow. That's what sucks about it.
But obviously I would not put Wardlow as like the number one contender against MJF. It's like, no, not yet.
There's money in that program. There is money in that program, just maybe not at Double or Nothing.
I would say like maybe Full Gear at the earliest.
Maybe before that, like kind of maybe.
I was gonna think All Out, but I was like, I don't know if that just.
I would say that would be a good like in between program between Double or Nothing and All Out. Like, you build to a big Dynamite for the summer months, and you can do Wardlow and MJF there. So yeah, that was Dynamite, and and Powerhouse Hobbs is with QT Marshall. I have no opinion. Like, I don't have a negative opinion. I have no opinion on that one way or the other. QT Marshall, nice guy. He's not untalented, but I don't get excited about him. There, that's kind of my opinion on QT Marshall. I don't dislike him, but I'm not.
Let's see what might happen with this. I feel like something interesting might occur.
I don't know. I don't know. QT Marshall does not scream, tune in next week to see what happens. No disrespect intended to him.
Yeah.
All right. And now we will talk Raw. Maybe, because my browser crashed. Alright, there it is.
Yeah. And I have only watched highlights.
Okay, so
but
you don't know anything that happened from Raw.
I did hear what happened on Raw at the end.
Okay.
As for this past SmackDown, no.
Okay, well, first off, you had Kevin Owens and Solo Sikoa. Good match, bad finish, DQ, but I get what they're going for here. Bianca Belair and Carmella. This was okay. I did like Chelsea Green getting the miss because her character is an obnoxious Karen, and that's always fun. And she does that character so well. Your all-time favorite, Logan Paul, was on Raw. He's wrestling Seth Rollins, and I think it's going to be a good match. If the past is anything we can live up to. Amos and Dolph Ziggler didn't happen, so that was kind of stupid. Johnny Gargano wrestled Finn Balor. Really good match. The ending was kind of lame, but it kind of made sense with what they were going for. Edge costs Finn the win, and basically Edge's logic was, I had Theory beat. I should have won. You cost me that match. You should have beat Johnny Gargano. And he said, with all due respect, Johnny Gargano, you were going to win this match, but I cost you. So it makes sense. I like the match. Nikki Cross wrestled Piper Niven. It was basically a squash match. Like, wasn't really much going on there. Now, time for one of the more controversial things to have happened this week in wrestling. The Austin Theory John Cena promo. People are saying that John Cena buried. And the only reason I'm using quotation marks is because on the internet, like, the word buried gets thrown around like the word banger. It's like it's lost all of its meaning. It's like, oh, so and so was buried this week. Oh, they buried Judgment Day by having AJ Styles win. It's actually like, no, they didn't bury the Judgment Day.
Now, this promo I did see, and I was actually quite entertained.
I don't know if I would have. On one hand, I do see why, I may have said that, Barry is thrown around a lot. People thinking this was a burial carries more weight than the umpty thousand other times people use the word burial on the IWC. So I kind of get it, but at the same time, on the flip side, I'm more interested to see what happens now. Because had John Cena not, went for the jugular like he did, then this would have just felt like, okay, this will be maybe a good match at WrestleMania. It'll be a good match and, cool, neat. The way John Cena sold this match, I'm now more than I've ever been invested in Austin Theory. I've never really, he's okay, but I've never really been like, yes, Austin Theory, that guy right there. But because of this promo and kind of the way they've layered this story, I'm not saying I think it's going to be the best thing ever, but I have some intrigue now in okay, what's going to happen with Austin Theory? What is going to happen with how is this going to evolve Austin Theory? Is it going to evolve him further, or is it going to be the beginning of the end? I want to see that now. And I didn't previously really care one way or the other, so unlike other times, I get where folks are coming from with, throwing the B word around. But on the flip side, I kind of have more intrigue now. So, I don't know.
And I was going to say, I don't mind it. And if not, maybe this kind of might be a good dream United States title match between Cena and Theory. I mean, we saw that at Mania 31 with Cena and Rusev. Less said the better. That's just my opinion. But anyways, I don't know. Maybe this is one way to try to get Theory more over, I guess, with terms of just the publicity and just the marketing about him. But I don't really see what the controversy was. It was just Cena just doing his own stuff, and he's done a promo where it's the only reason I'm here is because you can't do your job. And in some ways, sometimes he does have a point. When the chips are down, got to bring in Cena to say, all right, now it's time for me to show you what to do.
I do. The only thing I do wish is I'm hoping before WrestleMania we get Theory. I'm hoping they give Theory the chance to kind of take the gloves off with Cena a little bit. Kind of say something like, oh, you're supposed to be this leader, but yet yet you're the guy that doesn't want to work with people. You're the guy that holds people down. You're the guy that would rather, that wants to be in that position where nobody grow. You want to make it so nobody can grow, so they got to come crawling back to you. Oh, you're the one that called out The Rock for going to Hollywood, yet look where you're at. I want to see Theory kind of try and get some of those shots in at Cena to try and redeem himself going into this match.
Literally, if Theory somehow is listening to this, I will give you this one promo for free. How many of those Make-A-Wish kids have you failed by saying, I'm going to win this match for you?
That might be crossing too big of a line. That might be crossing too big of a line. But
he tells.
we
kind of have a stupid thing going on SmackDown we'll get to later.
What's that?
Dominic should have been Eddie's son.
At least that's canon, though. That's canon. That isn't
Bringing,
that
like,
isn't a
bringing Eddie
legit that
Guerrero
isn't
stuff
like
here.
making fun of legit kids that were dying. That is like something that was in part of WWE's canon. Chad Gable versus Baron
Here's a
Corbin.
big difference here. Well, those kids, I mean, can't believe I'm saying this. Those kids may be dying, yes, but Eddie Guerrero, he kind of is dead right now.
But that was a storyline.
Been
Like
dead
I'm not.
for a
I don't
couple
like
years.
bringing up Eddie Guerrero either. But I'm saying like you're not bringing up a kid dying that's not involved in the wrestling business. Dominic being Eddie's son was a storyline that was used on WWE TV at least.
Yeah, and it was.
Not saying it was a good storyline. I'm just saying it was there.
Yeah.
Chad Gable, Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin sucks, but Chad Gable won. So, 5 stars in my book. Best thing ever. Jimmy Uso versus Sami Zayn. Match was good. The ending of the match was even better. They knew how to, they know how to fuck with a crowd with this, man. This was awesome. Which leads to, we thought that Jay was going to join Sammy, but then he kicks Sammy in the face and he says, I'm going to join the bloodline, save the bloodline. But we get to SmackDown, and let's go ahead and talk about that promo. The one thing I thought was interesting, Jay Uso basically says, I did this because I had to. He said, I didn't want to do it. I had to. He never mentioned Roman Reigns the whole time he was talking about why he wanted to. He didn't say he did this for Roman Reigns. There's some subtext there, and they might undo all the subtext tomorrow night on Raw, that Jay did this for Jimmy. He did this so Roman wouldn't do anything to Jimmy.
Interesting concept.
Yeah. I still think it's the best one. This whole thing, everything involved with this has been some of the best stuff I've seen in any company in so far. I know.
Do we see the Usos turning on Roman, though? Just be like, look, you know what? You've been playing with us for far too long. No matter what we do, it's all about you. So screw you.
Do I see that? I don't see that happening in such a simplified way yet. I think things are going to happen after WrestleMania, and then it's not. It's going to be. It's going to be told in like a very, very well written, well done way, not just hey, blah 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 blah, kick. Like there's going to be like a moment to it,
Like maybe Evolution turning on Randy.
No, I mean, like, there's going to be, like, a good promo, and, like, there can be some good stuff there with it at the end of it. I think we all kind of know that's where it's heading. But, like, the way to get there is going to be well done. Like, we all knew the Avengers were going to stop Thanos. In Endgame. But there's going to be more to it than just, like, all right, we beat Thanos. Have a nice day. Like, that's not how... I'd like to think that's not what they're going to do. I think there's going to be some good promos. There's going to, it's going to be after WrestleMania. So, it may even be longer than that if Roman beats Cody at WrestleMania, which I think is a very plausible thing that can happen. So, all the AEW fans that are mad at Trader Cody, you can rest easy. He's probably still going to lose, you guys, so it's fine. It's fine. Even WWE knows he sucks, everybody. It's fine.
And just super kick Cody when the ref is down again.
I know half the internet would be happy that happened because they're like, we told you shouldn't have done that. Told you you should have just went and worked backstage instead. But no, you had to go to WWE and be a traitor. Well, that's what you get. That will be the narrative. Believe me.
And then here's going to be my little take to the AEW insanity stands out there. How's Miro doing? Where the fuck is Miro? Also, where the fuck has Eddie Kingston been?
He went to Ring of Honor.
Oh, yeah.
He quit AEW and he's now challenging Claudio for ROH. I haven't gotten Honor Club yet. I'm still kind of on the fence about it, but I will give credit there. They're doing something. But, yeah.
I will watch Supercard of Honor, though. I do want to, like, watch that. I guess as my first, like, all Ring of Honor pay-per-view, not Ring of Honor and New Japan they did, which I still like Supercard, though. Well, G1 Supercard.
Yeah, it just sucked. Anyway,
Cool.
but no, I think eventually the bloodline's gonna split up. It's still like they're still just hanging on by threads, but Jay, instead of just pulling the trigger now, is still kind of doing this like, okay, I'm back, but it's, he didn't mention Roman. He said I did this because I had to, didn't want to, but I had to, and didn't mention Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns said, if Jey Uso's not back in the bloodline, I'm blaming Jimmy. You can take this storyline, the rumor is it's going to end up being Zayn and Owens versus the Usos for the tag titles at WrestleMania. You can take that to go into the tag title feud at WrestleMania. You got Roman and Cody. It's, again, this storyline's should be in its home stretch. They may try and push it too long. Who knows? It's WWE. But I think like I said, we're in the Avengers Endgame portion of the bloodline right now. And right now it's just a matter of finding the most entertaining way and the most well-written way to get to an obvious ending. Because sometimes an obvious ending isn't a bad thing. It's all about the journey. Unless the journey involves a wrestler that the IWC hates, and then it's terrible and you shouldn't like it. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Xavier Woods versus Karrion Kross versus LA Knight ended in a draw when McIntyre and Sheamus scored a pinfall at the same time. That match was to determine the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship to have a match at WrestleMania. I think this is great that they're really well done with how they're like making the Intercontinental Championship seem so important. Because of the draw, later on, Gunther said he was wrestling one guy, not two, at WrestleMania. And Adam Pearce made a singles match between Sheamus and Drew for next week on SmackDown. Rey Mysterio was announced as the first inductee of the WWE Hall of Fame. We've already talked about that.
It took them long enough to say who was going to the Hall of Fame. It's like, sheesh.
That leads me to believe that Rey versus Dominic, which all signs seem to be pointing that is going to be Rey's last match.
For sure.
Viking Raiders defeated Braun Strowman and Ricochet, and this was a good match. But then their manager Valhalla started doing like this weird spell thing, and like other than that, like the match was good. But that's like the one thing where I'm like, all right, that took me way the fuck out of this. Charlotte Flair defeated Shotzi. Okay, I'm not the world's biggest Shotzi fan. Sorry. And Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn attacked the Bloodline. So, yeah. And as of right now, nobody's turned on Cody Rhodes yet, y'all. You've only got a couple weeks to get this to happen. You guys got to step up your game. Hard. You got 2 weeks to boo this man out of the building so they can put Sami Zayn in the match instead. Or just kick him out of the match. Or just fire him. But you guys got to step it up. And that is it. That is the week in wrestling. I don't have Honor Club, so I can't talk about Ring of Honor, but I'm hearing some good things. And the New Japan Cup's going on right now. I haven't had the chance to sit down and watch it, but once I do, if it's before that becomes old, if I am able to watch it before the New Japan Cup becomes old news, we'll discuss it next week. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for playing the predictions game. If you would like to win something like a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt or a Cactus Jack autograph picture, be sure to enter for the WrestleMania giveaway. And, whoop. Stone Cold Steve Austin almost shut off that camera. What? If you enjoyed, please like, share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of pro wrestling, but from comics, gaming, anime, and all things geek culture. Follow me and tell me what a bad wrestling fan I am on Twitter at athletic_geek89 or on Facebook at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. EZ, do you have social media?
Yes, you can follow me at the Twitter at DRIKZARINS. Talk wrestling, hockey, racing, all that fun stuff. And speaking about racing, good to see Hendrick thriving despite a boring Phoenix race, but that's just me.
I didn't watch the race. I just saw that. I saw who won. I saw that I pretty well liked everybody in the top three, but would have rather 2 or 3 won. That's just me.
Yep.
But Byron won last week. I want to see Reddick or Blaney get a win this week. But
I like Hendrick winning.
I never root for a race team ever. I root for racers, not a team.
Well, that was me as a kid rooting for racers, and now I root for the racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, to each their own.
Well, for EZ, I'm the Athletic Geek. We're just marks, and we're out. Have a good one.